We're going to figure that
We'll
out.
get there when we battle. All the rules are written down if you need to refer to them. So I might just say check the attack rules. Alrighty. The year is 2036. For 26 years, humanity has been at constant war with genetically engineered monstrosities known as kaiju. Humanity always thought that alien life would come from the stars, but instead it came from beneath the Pacific. While the Pan-Pacific Defense Corps held back the invasions for a time, their enemies evolved. More breaches in the ocean floor opened, and humanity was forced to create monsters of their own, Jaegers. We open on the largest of the Galapagos Islands, Isla Isabela, which houses one of the largest operation bases for the PPDC, as well as 4 Jaegers. This facility serves as the final frontier against alien attacks. Whatever events led you to this place, now you are Rangers, the pilots and minds that power the Pacific Rim's Jaegers. It's not a glamorous life, and piloting Jaegers more often than not proves fatal. But in a world where cities are falling, supply lines are failing, and kaiju loom on the horizon, where would you rather die? There, or in a Jaeger? So, what you would know is 2 Jaegers recently launched to take down 2 kaiju in a breach near Lima, in Peru. You are just chilling at the facility, you could be working, you could be in your room, you could be training. What do you think your character would be doing at this moment after just being denied a job?
Denied a job?
Yeah.
I'd be cleaning my guns.
Cleaning your guns?
Yeah. Pulling it apart, polishing, cleaning, making sure it's...
Just in your room?
Yeah.
Where do you think your character would be?
In the ops room, like staring intently at the body cameras of these Jaegers.
Yeah.
What is happening?
Where do you think you would be?
There's the sounds of like the like simulation room going, and then there's Dexter kind of sitting in the corner with a beer of some sort.
A
Looks
beer
to
of some
attend-
sort?
Beer of some sort. Looks like they're trading. They're not.
Yeah.
I'd be Dougal would be pacing, which is what he does when he's pissed and frustrated, and occasionally smashing something with a hammer. Nothing particularly important, maybe a table or something, and rubbing his jaw, which plays up when he's stressed.
All right, I want to open first. Let's hope this works. With Jesse's character in your room, cleaning your guns. Would you like to share a moment from your past? I'm guessing probably a military past, maybe a past with your religion. What would your character be thinking about in this moment as they're cleaning their guns?
A time going out hunting and making just like that perfect shot.
Yeah.
From like really far away in the mountains. Been sitting camping out for like 2 days and finally found this buck that he'd been chasing for a while.
Yeah.
Got us right between the eyes. Perfect shot, no pain, just instant kill from like 600 yards away.
Can you roll me a wisdom save?
Are you in the campaign?
I'm not. I can't. I don't actually own the subclass I'm using.
That will be 15.
You don't need it.
Since you have this
I
really
don't think
positive
so.
memory
Hold on a minute.
of your expertise with your chosen
You can
field,
play.
with your
Let
weaponry,
me send you a link.
you
can
feel
play it
really
from either
empowered.
anyway.
Remember that you have +1 to a neural handshake.
From either place.
Okay, thank you.
David, you said you were. Hang on. What did you say you were? Are you watching?
I'm watching the body camera footage in the like main room wherever like everyone else is watching it.
So, you are not actually privileged to that information. There's only 3 people in this facility who are. But you've kind of hijacked a little way to view this in the lab.
Okay.
And at the moment, you're just watching the 2
I'm sending it to you.
Jaegers. They're known as Fenris Aurora.
Just finding it.
And hang on, I need to read my own notes after all that. Fenris Aurora and San Balanza, which are just moving towards the kaiju in the breach. And as you see this, you see a kaiju a bit apart from where you were told the kaiju were. Can you roll me a perception check?
Oh, that's not very good. That's 11.
That's just good enough. You notice that it has some spikes on its back that seem to be almost alternating between poison and electricity. and you think this might be some sort of EMP pulse technology that you've seen in more powerful kaiju. It ducks underwater, and then your feed cuts out. G,
Yes.
where was your character? They were in...
like the training
training.
simulation or something like that.
Okay. We open in the Queen Combat Room, which is where trainees train to become Jaeger pilots. As you're sitting by the edge, having a drink, just observing people going about their business, a young cadet comes up to you by the name of Monica Hernandez, and she says, "It must be so tough that you didn't get chosen for that mission."
I think I'll take finish the drink and say, in this life, you win some things, and you lose more.
So what have you lost, besides missing out on this opportunity?
Do I know this person?
You would know them vaguely as there's probably about 50 cadets here because it also operates as a training school.
Mhm.
So you've probably seen her around. She's known to be a bit of an upstart. Her dad was a Jaeger pilot.
Yeah.
Her uncle was a Jaeger pilot. She feels pretty entitled to becoming a pilot. And she
I hate
says,
those people. Nepotistic
maybe-
Jaeger pilots.
maybe if you're not afraid of losing anything else, you could face me in combat. And she points towards the Queen Combat Room.
Oh yeah, kick her ass.
I think I won't see anything but walk into the area for sure.
Okay, so this is
Maybe
the
pick up a
area where cadets train to kind of gauge their sync quality with their opponents. So this, you all would have gone through this process and proved that you can fight with your partner. So she walks in there, she kind of takes off her jacket, cracks her knuckles, show me what you got. You're going to make 3 attack rolls, and we're going to see what she rolls.
Lovely. I have an unarmed fighting style, so I'll hold my stick, but I'm not actually fighting with it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much just holding it in my left hand and going.
So Queen Combat is the best of 3.
Lovely. So 3 attack rolls.
Yeah.
First one's a 14.
Misses.
Second one's less than that. Third one is an 11.
All right,
You also have T-shirt.
16.
Misses. Oh, hang
You're
on.
on the
I wonder if
final
my
deal.
shield comes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
16 is meets beats then.
My boss has been
22.
hard.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
5.
That one was.
She smiles at you and she says, "Maybe your time's come, old man." And then she walks out. Remember, you have -1 to your neural handshake now, as you feel demoralized about your position as a pilot.
Fair enough. I will point and open my mouth to come up with a comeback, and I have a high intelligence score, but I think I just go,
She flicks her hair a little bit and just continues
Jerk's
out.
still called. It's running out of
Where did you
you.
say your character was again?
I don't know whether it would be in my room or probably in the same sort of simulation area as Galen's character would probably be more likely.
Okay, you're probably around the other side. There's another cadet there called Gia Perez.
Yep.
And as you're standing next to her, I want you to roll a medicine check.
Oh, not a skill I possess.
why
Really?
would the cleric have this?
Yeah, I said this specifically.
It's like my usual clerics of stuff that would be. Oh no, they do have meds in this one. Oh, interesting. Well, we'll go with
It seems
10.
doggy.
It's 16.
Constantly remove what's affecting it.
It got lower and lower and lower as it decocked itself. It just went 16, 12, 10. 10's about right. 16.
You see on her arm, she has what looks like an acid burn
Yeah.
that's revealing parts of her skin that shouldn't be revealed to the
Right.
public eye, almost to the bone.
Right.
And you would recognize this as kaiju blue, which is what's released from kaiju when they're attacked, when an explosion occurs. It's a highly toxic substance. I want you to roll an arcana check.
Oh.
In this context, it's more of a knowledge, history,
Yep.
law check.
Law check. So what are we doing? Arcana. 3.
3.
Yes.
You think You've seen a lot of kaiju blue in your days.
Yep.
You're probably not likely to encounter any in this next battle because you are so precise with your attacks.
No.
You wouldn't be like Gia. You wouldn't get any on you.
No.
Yeah. Around this time, all of you receive a message. You've got little watches that serve as little holographic notifications. And it says,
Modern
Ranger.
technology, yeah.
Ranger, report to the Situation Room at 1600. Marshall Milton. That's all you receive. It's about 3:50 at this point, so you've got about 10 minutes before you can go there. Do you want to do anything?
Yeah, I want to keep smashing my monitor. It's probably some old CRT monitor. Like, I'm just trying to, like, get it to the static to, like, stop. Yeah.
An old technician walks past you and kind of, you tried that, buddy. And just walks out.
I go,
But I want new samples.
I go, soldier, have you tried turning it off and turning it on again?
Oh, let me.
And I wield my hammer in its general direction.
I'm just gonna go under the like desk and like unplug it from the wall. And, like,
Roll an Arcana check.
Fucking nat 20
Power
fixes the computer. It
I will
works.
use another
Miraculously
one.
fixed.
Arcana, did you say?
Yeah.
That is 10.
10? You take those cords out and you plug them back in really well. Just you bring up the monitor, you see a home screen, it's your own home
It's a
screen.
beautiful home
Presumably. I imagine there's like an anime kaiju on there. Just
Yeah, but it's an anime poster, but it's anatomized, so it's like you can see like the brain and but it's all like Hawaii.
I love
Yeah.
it. You go to watch the feed, nothing shows.
Yeah.
Bowl, cold water, just dunking. I've got this. This is fine. This is fine.
Roll a wisdom save.
3.
You don't got this.
You can't breathe.
You don't overcome this sense of inadequacy that you were
got
placed
this.
with before.
I've got this.
The person with the Koji Blue burns.
Yes.
Do I know who they are?
They're another one of the cadets, so kind of like what he had.
Yep.
You would know vaguely of them, you wouldn't know them too well. Do you
Okay.
want to speak to them at all?
Yeah. I as we're heading out, as we're shipping out, go. You're not supposed to get hit with that shit. You know, keep out the way. That's what soldiers are supposed to do. You not get hit by the enemy. You're not going to survive long around here if you're going to get burnt up like that.
She sighs and she then looks at you with a look of just judgment and almost disgust. And she says,
I'm used to that.
I got this as a child.
Oh.
My hometown was invaded by kaiju. I couldn't help when they exploded it. When these people exploded it in my hometown.
Soldier, I don't need to hear your excuses.
I love that this military fortress has the same energy as a bratty high school. I'm terrified where I'm going to sit for lunch.
I hope you just learn to roll faster. Shipping out!
She's just confused, takes a sip of water, and then just turns back to what she was doing. Alright.
Yeah.
Is
Tough
there
army
anything
love.
else you want to do before we before you head to the situation room?
I just put my guns back together, holster and rifle in the back. Let's go to work.
All good?
Yes.
I will bring a very old and like ramshackle rucksack with.
Yeah.
It's my spell components.
What's in the rucksack?
Just
Or
like
is the rucksack itself the spell?
No. It's like you'll find out when I cast these spells.
It's a bag of tricks.
There's like a shitty old
Just
radio
make this.
from the 1960s with some tinfoil and like random antennas, like things
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Just little doodads that you
Little
can do.
doodads.
Yeah.
That everyone will be like, that's just all junk.
I might just wait for Emma, since I think she's taking a phone call. In the meantime, you all meet outside the situation room. There's just big bulky doors. They're currently locked. You know they'll only open with your keypad, or with your key to the keypad at the appointed time. So you're kind of just milling around at the moment. Do you want to describe what your characters look like to each other?
I reckon I would have got there earlier than everyone else.
Yeah.
Because I was pretty much ready to go. And also, like, I'm very adamant on being on time.
Yeah.
And I would have just been sitting in the corner in the shadow somewhere, so no one even really notices I'm there.
Strider style.
Yeah, pretty much. And that is kind of like the vibe. Like, he's not long hair, short hair, but just like 5 o'clock shadow, dark features, just in general, just like a grizzled, like vet sort of type guy. Yeah, very silent, very calm.
Similar vibes, but in the opposite direction. Of they've got a mustache, but they've also got stubble, kind of bits of grey in the hair that's grown out to not really be in a cut.
Yeah.
They're just a little bit shorter than you'd expect. Bit of a belly, a little bit like their uniform's not quite ironed properly.
Yeah.
And just big hands.
Are they calloused? Like, do you think this person worked?
Oh, they've broken every finger they have had at least once or twice. They've got just like scars and everything. Very unpleasant.
And I'm sure the psychic scars are even worse.
Just a like perpetual nosebleed. Mustache is there to collect.
So how old is this character?
Oh, probably like 50, 53, 54. Like just old enough that people are starting to go, what are they doing here? Are they?
So they might have been involved in like the early Jaeger development, in which they weren't as well designed. People were more prone to getting severe psychic damage and long-lasting physical effects. So the nosebleed may be a remnant of those times, or maybe just something else.
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
Yeah. And David, what's your character effect?
So my character, pretty standard, like mid-40s, mid to late 40s man. Just stock standard average, pretty much. Glasses, the usual. Always wears like a suit and a lab coat, like a white lab coat that's like unbuttoned.
Yeah.
He looks like he has his shit together and then he speaks.
Yeah.
Love that.
So like you go, oh, he's probably the head scientist or something, and then he just jabbers on. So yeah, that's basically him. He probably has like an anime kaiju watch or something, like there'll be some like accent that's like, okay, maybe it's a bit off. But that's pretty much him. Yeah, that's pretty fun.
As you're standing there, a figure approaches you, also in a lab coat. This person is the head scientist of the facility. You see this young person with dark black hair with too much grey for someone their age, and glasses that are so thick that you can tell they can't see more than 30 centimeters in front of their face.
Yeah.
And they come up to you and they say, "Soldier, I like your watch."
My daughter gave it to me.
Which kaiju's that?
A big one.
Category 4, 5, 6?
6. I believe it's 5. I actually... It's one of the like kids TV shows, like the little animated, like we've got to prep the troops for the next generation. Like it's basically like your pajama. What do you call it?
Like Bluey.
Pajamas in pajamas.
No, PJ Powers or whatever it is.
Oh.
What's the
Paw Patrol.
like essentially Paw Patrol, but
Karen.
Edition,
But he's He-Man.
Or like the Ben 10 watch kind of thing. Like it's definitely nothing like.
This is not an actual kaiju.
No. This is like How to Train a Dragon type. Yeah.
They say to you, "Oh, I've always found that show kind of disturbing. You have these cadets coming in here thinking it's going to be like that, and the kaiju aren't friendly. They're going to burn your face off." But I appreciate someone who also appreciates kaiju for the wonderful creatures they are. And then they're going to walk around the corner because they don't want to engage in any more small talk. At this point, the doors kind of change colour from the red. Oh, you want to do something?
I'm just gonna say, I assume my glasses are just for show. Like
Your glasses.
yeah,
I like
they're
those.
just for looks.
Yeah.
Just so I look more
They'll
sciencey.
probably give you an odd look when they're talking to you, like,
What's
Yeah,
that
yeah.
description?
yeah.
Like clearly, no
Judging-
prescription stuff.
It's not even.
Is that a negative?
How come you've only got
No.
a lens in one of those?
Just very good thinning.
Yeah. They'll walk off. The doors in front of you see will go from having red light around it to a blue light, and a symbol will come up in the middle that matches the symbol on your wristwatch. I can't actually bring up the...
Mine probably is
Think
the
about that.
actual military grade wristwatch, just
Yeah. Oh, don't worry about it.
designed.
But you see this symbol that looks like the jaws of a kaiju, and you recognize this is a symbol of the PBDC, which is
PBDC?
inviting you to then open the door.
Pan Pacific Defense Corps.
Should we wait for Emma? Because I don't want to do the briefing
Yeah.
without her.
We can wait for it.
I think while we're here, Dexter will go up to. What's your character's name?
Jude.
Wonderful. Do we know each other? The two teams.
I would say you two recently arrived.
From Switzerland.
Yeah, from Switzerland, where you had your Jaeger. What is it, Hermes? So your Jaeger's recently been brought to the Shadow Dome here. So you probably haven't interacted that much, apart from seeing each other in the mess hall and between your bedrooms.
Wonderful. In that case, I will not introduce myself. But I'll
Were
go
we
ahead and-
big fish in a small pond, and now we're coming here thinking we're all
Yes, the continent.
That's
yeah.
a fun.
We're like the theoretical physicists that have just decided that they actually want to go into the field. We think we know what we're talking about.
We've killed a bunch of kaiju, but we just don't realise that they're just the smallest kaiju around.
Or like
So we
we've
just
done
like-
a lot of simulations, but just like no practical experience. Yeah.
Especially because, where these breaches are to the Antiverse, as it's known, are in the Pacific Rim. So you wouldn't have actually been there if you were in Switzerland. So maybe
you
you...
daddy's money in
There's a
simulation.
movie
Yeah.
The category one, the towns that are allowed to just wander for a bit and end up near Sweden.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I will come over and clasp you on the back and say, these science officers, they don't really know what they're talking about. Don't let it go to your heart. I think those shows are great for recruitment.
They are pretty good, but the scientists I think they should get in a Jaeger sometime and see what it's actually like.
Heads are probably too big to fit in the helmet. Yeah.
You're right about that. You're right.
Roll a history check for me.
Oh, that's good. My dude obviously knows it's history. But it's still -1. 14.
Yeah, that's enough. You would know that Dr. Archie Ramos is the head of this facility. And you would also know they have never been in a Jaeger. They got their theoretical PhD from the University of Sydney before Sydney and Australia was destroyed. So it's pretty accurate to say that the scientists here are pretty out of touch.
Yeah, and Australian universities are shit compared to Switzerland. So
You would also know that Sydney had one of the largest development sectors for Jaegers. They produced the famous Striker Eureka, who fought in the Battle of the Breach and was unfortunately lost. But Australia is pretty well regarded in this setting.
yeah, but internally, not externally facing. I have other opinions about Australia.
Dexter actually has a tattoo of Striker Eureka's logo somewhere.
Yeah. Just Striker Eureka?
I think, or maybe some of the classic Australian Jaegers.
Yeah.
Because I'm a
Of when
wee.
they were
Are,
young.
are they Australian?
Yeah, so they were in the Australian Army when it existed.
Yeah.
And then buggered off when it stopped.
I'm more of a fan of the Japanese, more weeby.
Yeah. You like the kaiju as creatures, not the things that kill them. Despite.
Well, a little bit, yeah. It's like one of those. What do you call it? You admire the enemy because of their skill.
The perfect creature.
Mutual admiration.
Designed
you know,
for killing. Monologue from aliens.
Do you think we should go ahead?
If you like.
we can.
We can catch her up.
We can wait.
How's dinner looking?
That's, it hasn't left yet.
Oh no.
What's the ETA?
Still says 8.
Oh, okay. That's right.
But it's just a placeholder 8 until. Why do I feel like this isn't actually going to get through?
Oh, I'm sure it will eventually.
Um,
How complicated is the brief?
Not very.
Maybe let's continue.
But
on.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Alright, so
For a while.
can't really zoom in Emma right now.
Actually, as it happens, we can, because I don't like sticking my nose into other people's business. How do you zoom? Whoop.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I'm just trying to zoom, but it said don't do that.
do you even zoom?
How's that?
That's good. I'm just gonna.
And then, do you know how to show the token up? that's what something you want to do.
Yeah. Sorry, just changed his name.
Oop.
Thank you.
So
So,
that's what my character was like classic. Like, I was gonna say, I assume my character, like Jude, was at university when the rift opened.
Yeah.
So his anthropology degree changed.
he was probably focusing on, like, I don't know, the
Wales?
Wales.
Wales, yeah.
Anthropology. Sorry.
Yeah, no, probably looking at like human populations and digital technologies of some kind. The effect of AI on perceptions of political figures, and then halfway through your degree, kaiju emerged, and you had a new interest.
Yeah. And I probably have like a Godzilla little plush toy at home or something, and that's where it started from.
I love it.
Yeah.
So you walk into this room after putting your watches to the door. It opens, and you see your friend Archie Ramos, who you just met in the hallway, who seems to have gotten in here through a back way, kind of cowering in the corner a little bit. They look really nervous, which is unusual for someone who is the head scientific advisor of this facility. You see in the middle of the room behind the podium, Marshall Milton, who is the commander of this facility. She's an older woman with very severe scars, too many frown lines on her face. Like, this woman has never smiled, and her suit is very freshly pressed and angular. And you see off to the other side, someone you don't recognize. You see a woman in very clean, very modern clothes. She's got her hair immaculately braided up. She's got a winged eyeliner that's just a little bit too sharp. And she's got a clipboard that she's kind of clicking on with artificial nails. So as you walk in, all you can hear is just the tapping of her nails. You take your seats, and Marshall Milton scopes you out, notices that Firehammer's missing, but continues anyway. And she says, Rangers, thanks for coming. As I'm sure you're aware, 2 hours ago we launched 2 of our most powerful Jaegers to take down, in what was a regular routine mission, 2 Category 4 and 5 kaiju. We have not heard from them since.
Yes, it was very disappointing.
Excuse me?
Nothing.
As I was saying, this routine mission was trying some new technologies. Shao Industries here, and she points to the woman next to her, have provided us some experimental technology. This was its first mission. It's important that we get this technology back. For me, though, I'm more worried about our pilots. We do not have life signs for half of them, but for 2 of them, there are life signs still showing. We have some evidence to suggest that their con pod, which you would know as the cockpit, the helmet of the Jaegers, was ejected. There may be hope that they're still alive. I have a mission for the 4 of you. And she looks at where Firehammer would be. Continues.
We have a note sharing system.
I'm glad. I have a mission for the 4 of you. I want you to go to the breach. I want you to kill the kaiju. I want you to retrieve our lost soldiers. And I want you to retrieve the Catalyst tech. And she says that kind of sarcastically. You can see that she's towing this alliance that they have with Shao Industries, and she doesn't seem very happy about it. At this point, the woman next to her will kind of perk up, and she'll say, well put. My name is Vivian Anderson. You would know me as the communications director of Shao Industries. Obviously, this incident is less than ideal for Shao Industries and our stakeholders. We were planning to release this technology within the next month, but this may have put a damper on our plans. I can tell you that this is the most cutting-edge technology that Shao Industries has ever produced, and we're hoping to release it within the next month, proving government approval. But I think before fighting these kaiju, before retrieving these pilots, who, by the way, we don't even know if they're alive, I want you to retrieve this technology. For me, for the company, you will be very well rewarded. Can I have your agreement that you will retrieve this essential technology for us?
After we after we do what we can for the people out there, we'll grab your tin can if we can.
Are we able to find out what this technology is and what it does?
Of course. And she'll kind of point a laser pointer towards the screen behind, and you'll see the PPDC logo change into a Shao Industries logo. And a very crisp, very clean kind of corporate PowerPoint, complete with those corporate, disgusting icon characters, shows up. And she says, Catalyst Technologies, our newest innovation, are developed with charged ion particles. And we have tested this on kaiju, and it actually prevents damage, and it does additional damage. We have taken parts of the kaiju and integrated them into our systems. We're hoping to put this in every Jaeger and every defense technology on the Pacific Rim within the next month. Any questions?
Just one.
She flips through her notes as if she doesn't have something in the script for this. Yes?
You said parts of kaiju?
Of course.
I haven't.
Do you
read
have
it.
any kind of political aversion to this? She flips through a different set of the notes.
I just worry if technology, parts of kaiju, can be turned on us.
As you would know, our newest generation of Jaegers uses kaiju technology already. We cannot fight these enemies without using their abilities against them. This has been tested time and time again. I'm sure your own Arki Ramos, and as she points to them, they're kind of shaking a little bit in the corner, very unhappy about being here. And she says, they've even tested this on kaiju specimens. We've proven that there's no negative side effects.
Well, the best technology was made
They
100
told me
years
that when
ago.
we started this.
No. All I
Any
need is a
more
trusty
questions?
FM radio and I'm good.
Any more questions?
Dexter will look at the other two pilots and try to get if they have as little patience for this as he does. And then just kind of go, we're good.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
This bitch is gonna lie straight to our face anyway. Why point? Why carry on?
And then Milton will take over again.
Yes.
She sighs a little and she says, save the pilots, get the Catalyst tech, take down the kaiju, and by God, try not to die. Arki, take over.
How many kaiju are we?
Arki kind of speaks up at this moment. If you'll let me speak for a moment. We've got 2 kaiju currently. And I've
3
got-
actually.
Excuse me?
What?
There was a third.
Our
Did you not watch
reports-
the body cam?
I don't have access to body cam footage, no.
Well, there's your problem. There's more
But my
kaiju than you think.
reports have proven that there are 2 kaiju. There is a category
Your reports are wrong.
there's a category 3 and a category 4.
Two kaijus, 2 Jaegers wandered off. We've got to save some pilots who are still alive.
At
And
this
there's a
point,
tin
Milton
can.
says, I'm glad you've decided to join us. And you can brief if you want.
We've got to go save some pilots, kill some fish, and there's a tin can we might need to pick up along the way. Some new tech thing they want us to pick up
Yeah,
along the way.
okay.
Save stuff, kill stuff, retrieve stuff.
Yeah.
Alright.
Pretty standard.
Don't die in that order.
Raises an eyebrow. Don't die.
Where were we? Sorry. Yeah, they say there's a category 3 and a category 4. Nothing we haven't seen before. I called one of them Grimdark because it's a little gaming joke with my community. The other one I've called Sleeju. It was my mother's name, but that's we don't need to talk about that. And then they'll point to the screen behind you, and you'll see 2 holograms of the kaiju that they've identified. You see,
The one that I saw is not there, I assume?
No.
Mm.
You see on one side, you see one with these kind of tentacled appendages coming out of its mouth, and they'll point and they'll say, it appears to have, as you can see, some tentacle-like appendages, which leads us to assume there's going to be some grapple attacks or something of that nature, so be prepared for that. And this one, and they'll point to Grimdark, you see this huge creature with just like a ginormous jaw and great teeth. They say, I think you should be careful with this one's bite. But other than that, we don't have any other news. You should be pretty familiar with these kind of kaiju. I don't expect any difficulties. Yeah, that's about it. Any questions?
Yeah, what about the MP one?
You keep mentioning another kaiju. I haven't seen another kaiju.
Do you not record the recordings of the body cam?
They'll look at Milton, who will kind of give them a silencing look, like, do not tell them anything else. And then after we'll go, there's no more kaiju. I don't know where this room is coming from. It's probably a hoax by these kaiju worshippers. They're trying to convince us it's the raptor, but
I'm just going to look at you.
they'll look at you with a look of, like, slight confusion. Who I hope aren't among us. But that's my brief. I think I've covered everything in my notes. Any questions? Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Always.
All right. As you kind of mill about here after the discussion, Milton walks out with just, she owns this place, and she just walks out without saying a single word with you. Vivian looks, smiles at you all, and says, "If you have any other questions," and passes you all business cards.
I'd like to grasp her hand very firmly and give her far too much of a shake.
I'm charmed, I'm sure. But as I was saying, Shao Industries is always welcome to inquiries, and you can always come to me. I'm on the second floor, off to the left. Thank you. And she'll walk out.
Yeah, I did not grab a business card. I just like turn
Yeah.
around and walk.
Do you grab business cards?
I'll grab a business card.
Yeah.
And I'll just say, I hope you're not lying. It's like, oh, my best friend,
It's my job not to.
I would grab a business card and go, you can never be too sure of when you might need something to light a fire.
It's true.
And put it in my pocket.
Of course. She leaves the room, leaving you only with Arky, who is still shaking, who is still nervous, who's very confused by what you were talking about with the third kaiju. And they say to you, obviously you've got some information that I don't, but I've got some information that you don't. You've probably noticed that these Shao Industries representatives aren't telling you the whole truth. And the reality is, I know this technology has not gone through the testing that it should have. We put these things in our pilots without knowing what they were fully capable of. And I do think they're powerful. I don't think you're capable of taking down two kaiju like that without these weapons. That said, roll generally just a charisma check.
All of us?
Yeah, all of you.
I have no charisma, so...
Charisma.
14.
What? Crit
Crit?
for
Nice.
21.
18. That'll absolutely do. They'll look at you specifically, Firehammer. Sorry, what's your first name? Just
Firehammer.
Firehammer. They'll look at the Firehammer specifically,
Iron Jaw.
and they'll say,
Is my nickname.
I know that I can trust you. You've seen terrible things out there. As I was storing this you having nerves like as I was storing this technology in my lab, I noticed a strange interaction with the kaiju specimens that I was housing in my lab. It seemed like the natural bioluminescence that they had just started to change colour, change red. I mean, obviously these are dead creatures. I don't know what's going to happen to a live one, but maybe be wary of using it too much. If you do get it, use it sparingly.
Alright. Sounds like that's ominous, and we'll
Food's
file that
about
under
10 minutes.
And then they say, I like your watch. And they'll leave. Should we move on now, or should we wait until after dinner?
Your
Where's
call.
the food?
10 minutes.
Okay.
15 minutes?
10 to 15 minutes.
I reckon we can
Keep going.
see.
Yeah.
You've got a bit of time after this meeting and before you're due to depart. You're going to leave in about 30 minutes.
How
Is there anything you do before? Sorry, do you
How long
want
does it take to get to the place?
to the
The bridge. From here.
probably about 5 minutes max.
Oh, so it's that quick.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm totally gonna go to tinker with the Jaeger.
Yeah. But you're going to go to your Jaeger beforehand and
Yeah.
start tinkering with things.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good decision in this circumstance. Is there anything else, like any kind of operation activities that you do to calm yourself down or prepare, get in the mind headspace?
I'll stretch.
Sorry.
I'll stretch. I'll
Yeah.
do some like yoga.
It's probably a good
A
idea.
stretch. I thought you said scratch.
Yes,
Scratch.
I'm just like,
You
what?
just start scratching
Uh,
uncomfortably.
Dex will do some like boxing sparring type thing.
Yeah.
Not very well, but trying.
Okay, roll a wisdom.
God.
Hell yeah, 19.
As you're doing this, you kind of get more in the headspace that you're usually in. You're like, I can do this. I'm not going to be beaten by some cadet.
Mhm.
I can take control of this. I am a Jaeger pilot.
Absolutely.
You no longer have a -1 penalty to your handshakes. Is there anything you would do?
I would disconnect my jaw.
Yeah.
Which is iron on one side.
Oh, also, if you want to describe what your character looks like, because...
Oh, sorry, because I was having to work when I'm not at work. It's pissed me off tonight. Very rude.
What about the new law that just came?
Ha, ha, ha. So Durga, Iron Jaw, Firehammer, Iron Jaw, being
That's
his
a hell
call
of a
sign,
name.
but being Iron Jaw's his call sign, is a dwarf, really strong but kind of rangy, sort of sinewy muscle rather than sort of slightly tall for a dwarf. So it's like half of his sort of lower jaw has been damaged, incinerated, blown off at some point in some conflict, and is replaced by this sort of metal jaw that's sort of bolted into the side of his head, which he just disconnects and cleans, kind of the way you clean your gun. He's a relatively heavily armoured, has a hammer, a couple of hand axes, chainmail, and he's a war soldier priest. So technically a war cleric who largely is, more Full Metal Jacket than Father Mulcahy from MASH in terms of his padreing ability. So toughen the fuck up, Buttercup. Here's a bandage. Tie your head back on. Get back out there. Smack, smack. Tough love. Kind of padre.
Love it.
War is the religion, not a god of war. War is the religion, and the army is the church. And
your
the loss of
Jaeger-
both of those two things has left him a little bit, discombobulated about his place in the world.
Nice.
There you
Well,
go.
not nice, but
But yes,
terrifying.
he's
As
at Aussie.
you make your way through the many corridors... Oh, hang on. This is not configured properly. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah.
On my way to that thing, I want to go to the kitchen and grab some tinfoil.
Okay.
To make a hat.
Just wait.
You make your way through the maze of corridors that is this place.
Oh,
Half of it's built-
nice. Like that, Matt.
Thank
Like
you.
your flashing lights.
Very proud of the flashing lights.
Very nice.
You make your way through these corridors. A lot of the facilities actually underwater, so you walk past these windows into the ocean, just see a bit of turbulent, silt being kicked up. You know that something's going on out there, even so far away as it is. The ocean is unhappy. As you walk into the Jaeger Bay, you see this room that looks like an aeroplane hangar, but if aeroplanes were warships, it is hundreds and hundreds of meters high and hundreds of meters across. And you see at the end, on both sides, your Jaegers. Would you like to describe what your Jaegers look like?
I'm thinking, leaning into the dwarf thing, like quite short, but about as wide as it is tall.
Yeah.
And the sort of thing that, like, if you knocked over, would just kind of roll and stand itself back up.
Yeah.
Heavy.
Yeah, or like almost like a cannonball with short legs.
Oh, that's fun.
Like
Yeah.
short legs on the bottom and shorts of things on the so yeah, almost like a bit like a mine or like a jack. Do you know what I mean? With a sort of- yeah, could roll it, could go up either way. Doesn't really matter which way it lands.
Big,
Yeah.
heavy,
Big,
low center of gravity.
yeah.
I like it.
There's like, like sort of like reptile style, it's like really like come out and then just straight down.
I love it.
Yeah, hard to prone it because it will just turn over and be exactly the same the other way up. So it's actually quite difficult to knock it over because you have to try and get it between
like 17
all the times. It's like trying to get between its legs to get it flat.
It's like wrestler build.
Yeah.
I imagine this is a slightly older Jaeger. It's just so sturdy it survived.
Yeah,
a lot of
it's I think it's rusty.
Mm.
But deceptive. Nah, more like an old army tank.
Yeah.
Like the reason it's still going is because it doesn't need replacing. But has seen some action.
Yeah.
To go.
Yeah.
I love it. And
Big,
probably,
like,
Yeah, it's got like
Yeah, and
it's
damage
got-
scars that are like the Second World War thing. Like this one survived. It's beaten to shit.
Yeah.
And it's still there. And there's a reason for that.
I love it.
That's
Yes.
And on the other side, we have Hermes.
Oh, they've got
Yeah,
some
so
like
Hermes
floaty
is
thing
like
with
almost exactly
fancy-
the opposite. Like,
Yeah.
tall and
Yeah.
skinny.
We love short and fat
Yeah,
and tall and thin.
tall and
Atlas
with
and
like
bodies.
and like
No,
it's just
like,
everything about it is
like
very
the-
like
the-
aerodynamic, very like
evergreen
pointy
Forest
and
Forest
stuff.
and Jasper.
and like there's like blades coming out of its arm like Batman.
And I imagine that they're almost looking like wings, like the winged boots of Hermes.
Oh, they've
Yeah.
got fancy
Yeah.
schmancy.
and yeah, everything's very like it can be fast. And then also when it can go down on all fours and like start galloping like a
I love
creature.
it.
And then
love
like
it.
and then
Nice.
when it does like it's got like spines on the back that come up and it kind of looks like a kaiju.
So
I love
our
it.
ability
And if
is,
you look really
so
hard,
you've got
and you look
hit,
at my watch,
and then you've got missile launches.
Yep.
they look
Yeah.
very similar.
Okay. Nice.
Well, very similar.
Revolution.
Like a kid's drawing similar.
So do you reckon this watch
I think
came
they're on the
first,
little
or
legs.
this
On the
Jaeger came
legs.
first?
Like
The
those are those
The
are-
watch.
it's
I
just
think
like-
the watch.
So
Yeah,
that was your
I think that was
Well,
his
that's where they
design.
come
I have
from.
a young daughter, and all I watched for like 5 years was this one fucking show, and it's just like
Yeah.
this image is in
Yeah,
my
like
brain.
an old
Yeah,
school
like,
tank.
So do you think it was
Circle.
unintentional?
I like that.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably like I didn't even
Yeah,
realize.
just
this is what I was
subconsciously
thinking.
Whereas
you're
they've got some
I was like,
fancy
oh, it'd
schmancy.
be cool if it had these spines. Oh,
There's
it'd be
this
cool.
one the whole fist is just on.
Mine was like I just tried to design like an F1 car, and then you were like, yeah, but then it could just go on all fours and turn into this like
I
this
love
kaiju
it. I
thing.
love it.
Iron Jaw is grossly disparaging of this shiny,
Yeah.
prancy.
New wave.
Yeah.
New
So
wave.
yours is like a truck, ours is like a Ferrari.
We
Like,
hit the-
Oh, yours is like the thing
It
that
has
they
a
used to
hydraulic
bring
light
down
on it.
I
to
love
the
it, I
front
love it.
line. They'd send it.
Yeah.
They'd send it down, and it would just, everybody would want it because it was shiny and new,
Yeah.
and then they'd be dead.
We got
and ours is shiny and new. It's like
Yeah.
fully polished.
That's
like,
literally what
And-
he
and
said.
this is
Yeah,
first
so
edition.
You could eat off that bloody
Probably.
chassis, and I mean,
What
this
do
is
you
an
reckon?
insult.
I reckon we've taken down like some tiny little kaiju.
I reckon we took down a baby.
Yeah.
But we're like,
And
way
it's just
more
like literally,
confident.
it didn't dent it or anything. Like it's just it's a bit of blood splatter that we washed down and
Yeah.
polished it
We
again.
had to wash it.
I like take a lot of pride in how good it looks.
Oh
Yeah.
God, you
We
buff,
got-
don't
it
you?
was designed by the aerodynamicist to breed the
Wax on, wax off.
I've got like
Really?
I've got like another
like,
robot
This is
that's
like
like
an
just
hour's worth of
for
conversation now.
I
Yeah,
think
I
you
love
do
it.
have a mobile drone in addition
Oh,
to the things. The
yeah.
drone's got a giant buffing attachment.
Yeah, what do you think the drone looks like?
A giant buffing cloth that just does wax on, wax off.
It's like yeah.
But you've
I'm thinking
automated.
it's kind
You've
of like
automated the wax on, wax off process.
I'm thinking it's kind of like the guy in cars. It's like that like changes the tires.
Yeah.
Like yeah, pit stop. Yeah.
Giuseppe? I want to say Giuseppe. It's
Yeah,
a
so-
generic Italian.
So as you walk in and you admire your respective Jaegers, I
That's a
imagine
shame.
Vivian Anderson of Shaw Industries, she's also here, and she looks at your Jaeger and she says, "It's nice, it's clean. Shaw Industries provided." And then she'll go, upstairs to a viewing platform, which is above the Jaeger Bay. You also see on the back wall, there's this clock. And it looks like a doomsday counter or something, and it's currently set at 0. And you would know that this clock measures the amount of time since a kaiju has appeared. As you ascend up the scaffolding that is on the side of your Jaegers, you know that you're about to enter there. This may be the last time you see this Jaeger Bay. This may be the last time that you see other humans. You are about to enter the domain of monsters. You take one last look around you, and then you get into your cockpits.
Before
It's like
It's food time.
No, I will go up to the viewing platform.
Yeah.
Find the cleaner's ladder that I'm sure is just like some open it out, ladder onto the top of my coach.
Yeah.
Onto my Jaeger.
It's a tall bloody ladder.
And then I grab out of my
Well, the
pocket
actual
like an old FM radio, with an antenna, really long antenna, just some spongy foam.
There's a
just
Jaeger technician who's just checking all the systems, who gives you an odd look, and he says, "You're right there."
Trust me, it works. And then I'm just gonna tinfoil the top of this Jaeger. It's attached to this radio.
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna cast on detection. I have no idea if this works,
Fantastic.
but it lasts for 8 hours.
Hang on, let me just
And
write
it's
this down.
divination magic. I don't know. This might do nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
If something has divination, you've just done.
Whereas I'm
divinatory
watching
prowess
this
of the kaiju
show.
is,
I'm watching this kind of show
What's playing on the
mystic
radio?
nonsense. Superstition. This looks like some superstitious ritual for the cowardly.
Probably
Give me an
Icy Red.
anti-kaiju in this any day.
Probably the Icy Red. Yeah.
by Everyone Loves an Outlaw.
Yeah, you know it's like the Shinobi song.
I don't actually know it, but I'm trying to find it.
Can
So
you,
I can play
give us
it.
a-
I see red, I see red.
That's
I see
a
red.
That's not
I see
helping.
red.
That-
See red.
Thanks for clarifying.
Yeah.
That
makes
hasn't
sense to me. I know that song. Surprises
You
me, but I
two
know.
hear this song blaring from the radio on the other side. These upstarts with their young music and
It's not young music. It's very old.
young vintage music.
I
Fucking
Yeah, that's even more hipster. Yeah,
I'm trying to bring back classics.
Yeah.
I get into our Jaeger and smells like home, and then this sort
I love
of
the smell of
Sweating.
tetanus in the morning.
and then sort of thaumaturgy. So they're all doing prancy schmancy stuff, and our Jaeger just starts grumbling like some kind of giant war machine,
Yeah.
but sounds like 50 giant war machines. It's like,
Fantastic.
You're essentially doing the equivalent of revving your engine at the other.
yeah, but in a really low, growly, we would eat you for breakfast kind of a way.
I love it.
Understated.
Jesus.
Rumble,
I'm glad
like the
we've
whole thing's
chosen
just-
teams immediately.
just
we're
grum-
really getting along well with our fellow co-workers.
And yours sounds like a sort of Yamaha hairdryer, like some kid doing his bike license on a 50cc, and we've got something like a big V8 engine going. That's fine. Yeah, and we're like, yeah. You can catch up later.
I'll make one adjustment as well. Another adjustment.
Of course.
But that one will be a secret until we leave the base.
Okay, lovely. As you come into your cockpits, you hook yourselves into your Jaegers. So the way that Jaegers operate is essentially you control the hemispheres of the brain. Your brains are the Jaeger's brain. You get hooked up through your spinal cord, and you put on a helmet, which pretty much makes your brainwaves the Jaeger's brainwaves. I imagine that your kind of cradle that you're in is very old, very rusty, probably hurts a little bit when it connects to your spine.
It is
Whereas
not
yours is, I imagine, like the gaming chair of
Yeah,
cradle.
yours will be the fanciest.
And as you do this, you hear a voice over the comm system that says, "Neural handshake establishing." And I'd like you all to roll a check that will use your highest mental-based stats, so intelligence, charisma,
Wisdom.
or wisdom.
Do we add proficiency?
God.
You add what you would usually add to a check.
With
So, like,
proficiency.
sorry,
So just
I'm very bad with this.
You're right.
yeah, no.
we've got
So
our
without
ability score,
proficiency.
and
So
then we've got
just
proficiency.
+3,
Yeah,
but without
Just your
proficiency.
strength ability.
Yeah,
Just
straight
strength.
ability. Yeah.
Let me just get my
I'm starting us off pretty well.
I'm not.
Did you roll it down?
I've got 7.
I got 15.
What did you roll on the die?
5.
Okay. So 7,
I got 15.
15,
18.
18.
8.
We're
See,
fast.
if we
We're
did swap,
so
we
fast.
probably would have been fine.
I'll let you know something now.
What could go wrong here?
We've both
Everything.
fallen.
No, we're just gonna both. We're just gonna
Have
run
I managed to
disadvantage
prone the Jaeger?
I guess it will stun with those numbers. Maybe.
You told me at the beginning of this session that you were, not too close, probably just like work acquaintances, yes?
Hmm.
You
Actually,
add
we're-
+0 to this check. Your final score is 8.
Okay.
You told me at the beginning that you were
Dear.
pretty close. Good friends. You add +5 to this check.
Wow.
So you are at a 12. I will tell you now that your sync quality is poor.
Well, I don't
I
need
will
to write
tell
that
you
down.
that
I
your
can
sync
remember that.
quality is good.
Oh.
Yay!
That means we're on disadvantage, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Our
it's in
sync
this.
quality. Oh, shit.
Yeah, we take the worst, so we both roll attack, and we take the worst.
This is going to become your baseline, so sometimes I'll ask for sync saves, which will require you to roll a flat DC 10 check. If you fail this, you'll go down. If you succeed, you'll go up. But
Oh,
your
we can
maximum-
improve over time.
Your maximum is your baseline sync
Oh,
quality.
no,
Oh.
we can get worse sometimes.
Well, there's nowhere to go when you're down on your luck.
Yeah.
This is actually stapled into the side of the Jaeger
We
somewhere.
get the best
I'm
result
stapled
between
in there.
technologies, and I get to re-roll them
I'm
too.
putting that sign up.
Because I'm raised.
As
When
we-
you,
like,
you squat 2 foot from the ground, how far down can you go? Oh,
There's a light at the end of the tunnel.
And saving throws, okay.
It's the
You guys
scope of
are
a
fucked.
rifle.
That's fantastic.
another
It's like
another
the
motivation.
scope of a rifle.
You
As
see, if you guys
Another
had like a
motivational
little bit
thing.
of like kaiju bling on your thing, you would
Fuck off with the kaiju bling.
as you try and establish this neural handshake, the way this works is
One of you's trying to do a high five.
the other one's like a fist bump. Yeah.
It's like another game of rock, paper, scissors. Who knows how you play that?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Yeah, you do rock, paper, scissors,
No, it's
and then
rock,
someone else
paper,
says go, and you're like,
Oh,
what
God.
the fuck is go? It's scissors, paper, rock with no
You're going go, and I'm on paper.
So how the neural handshake actually works is
Badly.
you share memories with each other and you kind of enter each other's mindscape. Since you rolled so poorly,
Yep.
what is a really bad memory of yours?
Oh, they're all really bad.
Yeah.
No wonder we rolled badly. I didn't realise we were supposed to be finding good memories. A really bad memory. Worst memory was being told that the army platoon was being disbanded.
Yeah.
And like cast adrift from the army and being expected to go like to normal people places where they don't appreciate being shouted at a lot.
So you're both in this kind of conference room, this sense of just despair. What is my point in this world? Just watching
Yeah.
over you. And that you know you'll be able to control this Jaeger, but it won't be your best job.
No.
What is a really good memory of yours?
It was the first time we got a molar of a kaiju.
Yep.
And CERN. Like this massive tooth. We have it like in the foyer
Oh,
of
that's
like
so
the university.
funny.
And like it's just like the highlight. Like we were for days like taking DNA samples, like all sorts. It was great.
Both of you are just in this lab staring at this tooth like it's the most incredible thing you've ever
So
seen.
Inside you
confused as
fancy
to why I
schmancy.
like it too much. I'm just
Bro,
like,
you
what
probably used to worship the fucking tooth.
You go back to your days in the cult and you're like,
Those teeth
That's
are
a bit
Live the
amazing.
tooth, be the tooth.
Yeah, this is what
The
glory
tooth, false truth. tooth and nothing but the tooth.
Our
Like
tooth
some
changed a
pizza.
little bit recently.
Yeah.
And you'll hear that voice again, and it'll say, "Neural handshake established."
We feel like we're in a bunker in a war zone, being shot at.
And
Yeah.
as you prepare to depart, you see Marshall Milton up in the
It's
control
really
room
loud
above.
and
She
annoying.
just salutes you.
Oh.
You see Vivian smile and wave, and you see Dr. Ramos kind of nervously twitching a little wave. You come out on these essentially like
I
conveyor
think we
belts
should.
that convey you out into the outside of the hangar, and these giant helicopters come and latch themselves onto your Jaegers and
Oh.
start to take you out to sea. And I think we'll take a break there if we're doing dinner.
Yep.
Is it still
dinner's
6 Chinook
still-
helicopters?
Yes, it is.
to
It is
somehow
actually.
lift it?
Dinner's quite far away. It's been delayed, so it's still like 20 minutes away.
Oh my god.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Actually, I think you'll find there's 6 Jump Hawk helicopters is the technical term for them, which can just carry 100 times their weight.
Lovely.
I don't know how
Anti-gravity.
Pacific Rim says it's possible.
Valid.
So yeah, just remember that you have good sync quality.
We
have,
don't.
Poor.
Yep.
No,
I
no,
have-
no, no, no. Sorry, you have okay sync
We
quality.
have okay. Oh,
You have
Oh,
okay.
that's better
Did I
than
say
That's
poor.
not too bad.
Did I
You said
Oh,
poor
I'm so
initially.
sorry. I'm so sorry. You don't have poor. You have okay sync.
Okay. So we
So
still take the worst.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same.
But we don't suffer disadvantage. So
And we
that's
can
good.
get as far as poor if we work hard at it.
I'm sure we can get four as well.
Wonderful. Right,
All
so we
right.
just make straight rolls and then take the worst.
Yeah.
of the two rolls. It's pretty
As you come out
good.
over the Pacific Ocean, it's very dark. It's a stormy kind of day. You know this is not going to end well. It's never going to end well. That's what you feel. You feel quite enlightened. You see a beam of sunlight breaking through the clouds, and you think this is going to be a good fight.
And I just like nudge you, and I'm like, just like.
Oh god, the sunlight's reflecting off
I
their
made
shiny
another
panels.
assessment.
It's like
Right.
some kind of funky mirror
It's
ball.
giving you like an annoying glare. You're like,
Yeah.
God damn it.
It's like,
Dexter's trying to
Stupid
dramatically
assholes with their
recite
high
"Do not
beams."
go gentle into that good night," but hasn't actually read it in years.
Yeah.
Do not go gentle into that good night. Old men do not go gentle, and yeah, fuck, never mind.
Over
You
the
know that
comm,
thing.
you'll hear Marshall Milton saying the actual lines to you because she knows them.
yeah.
As
Thank
you come out
man.
over the ocean, you see in the distance just lots of waves. It almost looks like a whirlpool in the ocean, which shouldn't a maelstrom even, you could say. And you see 2 kind of glowing shapes whirling in and out of the waves, and you know you're about to hit the drop zone. You hear a voice in your comm system. It's the voice of Marshall Milton, and she says, "Good luck, pilots. Time to go. The helicopters will drop you." What? No. No,
We're
yet.
falling through the air in the
You're
darkness.
falling through the air, wind whipping you all around, and you fall
That is
into
cool.
the breach.
We're definitely doing a flip on the way down.
Yeah.
And
We'll
as
be
we
lucky if
cross
don't
the
body
breach,
flop because-
Proper Greg Louganis.
our aerodynamic properties just like collide in, and then you hear almost silence because of sharp pool noodles into the exhausts of this.
Wait, so
Pass without trace.
Wonderful. I
Tell
think
us
we
now.
hit the ocean with just the biggest, flattest feet. It's like dropping a square sheet.
We just
Yeah.
I imagine there's just
there's a 30 feet range. I don't know if you guys have ever
Cannonball!
5 tires. You're probably not. You're probably too far out of our pass without trace. Yeah.
all right. You fall. I'm just going to zoom
Range
out.
it.
I think we both have disadvantage.
Would you count this as coastal?
Coastal.
Oceanic.
Oh,
Because there's no
Which, funny enough, is
ocean
not
as
a
a terrain type in Ranger. Yeah.
I would.
Um,
Just for the purpose. of
because
it.
I
It sounds
get
fun.
advantage on stout checks. Or no, it's plus 10 or something. It's like some.
It'll
what
be
is it?
advantage. It won't be plus 10.
It's some weird.
It'll be
Maybe-
favoured
maybe-
terrain. It'll be
Yeah, it's favored terrain.
As you land down in the breach, you can see pretty far off
Proficiency's done.
the destroyed remnants of 2 Jaegers. One of them, a red. Hang on, I just need to zoom out. Can you zoom out?
Yeah, of course.
I assume
Oh,
this is
that-
my first time at the breach. I would just be like,
This
fangirl.
would be the first time you've seen a breach. Many people go their whole lives without seeing one. These seem to open pretty sporadically recently. There used to only be one. The PPDC was able to close it with nuclear bombs and all sorts of things. But in recent years, they've just been popping up. No one knows why. You don't know. That's not your job. You
I'm just
see
fangirling.
inside there's this roiling sea of energy, of blues changing to reds, changing to green. It looks otherworldly. You know you do not want to step into this breach. But you land on the seafloor next to this breach. You can see up in the right-hand corner here, left-hand corner here, pretty far away, you can see the destroyed remnants of the two Jaegers. One bright red, one a dark black colour. You notice that the black Jaeger does not have its comm pod or its helmet. So you may want to look for that if you want to do what Marshall Milton told you to do, but that's your choice. Would everyone like to roll initiative as two creatures come up out of the breach
So we
and look
both
towards
roll?
So we both roll, and then we take the worst of our two.
Okay. Oh, 5.
Yeah, well,
Me?
Although we might all check.
I rolled a 5.
16.
Oh wow.
Give me 2 seconds to load this
I was
one.
so excited. I'm like, I've got good initiative for the first time in my entire D&D life. I've got plus
The
8.
dice.
But yes, the
It's all
dice.
dice.
It's all
The
done.
dice.
I really do think proficiency in initiative should be a thing sometimes as well.
yeah.
Like, you know, like your monks, your fighters, your... So it'd be nice when it's
Why
like
not just
fighter
flat?
Alright, can everyone give me their initiative for their Jaeger?
13.
13?
That we-
So
Oh,
straight
okay.
on the dice.
So we're just giving both of ours? Wonderful. 16.
16?
And 5. So is this my initiative?
You're going to take yours because it's lower. So on ability checks,
Yep.
you're taking the lower check.
Okay, cool.
Okie dokie.
And
And
you're
I'm
taking
rolling
the
my
high.
checks.
Yeah, so you're all,
Yep.
we always just
You
roll
always-
our own checks.
Yeah.
So I should probably give
4.
some info on combat just before we start.
I'm not dexterous.
That's fine. No.
If you want to reference the specific rules in
Yep.
the booklet, you can. Essentially, you can use your class abilities on your Jaeger. If something would affect you, it affects your Jaeger. If it affects an ally or another person, you have to target another Jaeger. You can't target a Jaeger's another creature.
Yeah.
Because it's your own body, essentially.
Yeah.
When you make attacks, you're going to roll, both of you, using your highest attack modifier. So if you use a sword or a gun or a spell attack, it's going to be your highest attack modifier.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to take the highest roll, obviously, because you rolled well. You're going to take the lowest roll.
Yep.
When you're taking damage, that gets divided equally between the two of you, and if it can't be decided equally, you get to choose who takes more damage or not. And pretty much you can use all of your abilities on your Jaeger. If you have an issue or a question, just ask me and I'll tell you what you can use or not.
If we're using, say I have, because I have extra attack, I don't know if you have extra attack for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess that's just across the board. But if only one of us did,
Yeah.
would we just always get extra attack? Because
Okay, so your Jaeger has an attack, a bonus action, a reaction.
Mhm.
You can choose to use your multi-attack or something within the con pod, but not as the Jaeger, if that makes sense. You can take actions individually as pilots
okay.
within
Yeah.
the con pod. So you could, for example, choose to heal your companion or do second wind or something, but you probably could. Sorry, not second wind.
Actions.
Action
Mm.
surge. But you couldn't do that as the Jaeger. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Oh, okay.
but spells affect the Jaeger.
Yeah, but you would have to choose together to use that spell as your action,
Okay.
if that makes sense. And when you roll to attack, if you've got bonuses to attack, like you might have sneak attack or something similar, you can apply that, but only if you yourself roll higher than the creature's DC. So even if you both roll
Okay,
and then
okay.
use Jesse's roll, yeah.
So Hunter's Mark would work if your dice was the higher, but not if Jess's was the higher.
Yeah. I'm just thinking Monster Slayer stuff.
Monster Slayer would be the same thing.
Is this all clear enough?
Yeah.
I'm very bad at
No, I
explaining
think
these
it's great.
rules. Alright, so rolls, you got a 5.
Yep.
And you got a 13.
I got a 15. 15.
So you're going to use 5 as your initiative.
Yeah.
And what did you two roll?
13.
13. So you're going to have 13. Okay, so you're going to go before one of the kaiju. This is actually perfect. No joke, what it rolled as the initiative counter was pretty much exactly what we got, so I didn't need to change anything. Would we like to begin combat before
Yeah, how's the food look?
4 minutes.
4 minutes. Could we wait?
Yeah.
Just so-
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Just so I'm not.
So our extra attack doesn't work.